What is up, guys? Happy Friday. It is August 21st. We're talking the MLB slate for Friday's action here. Got a bunch of games on tonight's card. Actually, only got one game postponed. The Subway Series with the Yankees and Mets isn't going to be happening, but a full slate other than that, starting with a happy hour special here. The Miami Marlins versus the Washington Nationals, just a 6:05 Eastern first pitch, and then Toronto, Tampa Bay as well. So getting started on the East Coast in not too long, and a bunch of West Coast games as well. Going to be breaking down a couple games here. One game I actually really like. I guess save that for just a bit, but throw out a couple stats here with a couple of these games that I think there is a little bit of an angle, just hasn't made the card as of yet. So, guys, welcome in, and any questions, feel free to throw them out here in the chat. We got Arrow in the house, Hop as well. What do you think of Oakland, Cleveland, Pittsburgh? Okay, I'll try to hit those three throughout the quick show here on today's slate, Friday show. Happy Friday, everyone out there. So I guess start off at the top of the card here with Miami versus Washington, Hernandez versus Corbin. Looks like the Marlins were a little bit more of a bigger priced underdog, so I guess they got a couple tickets written on them at the start. But Hernandez, his last time out, 5 innings pitched, 9 Ks, no walks. And of course, when we start talking about, tickets being written on Miami, it's almost like clockwork, guys. When these pitchers go out and have a 9K, 0 walk performance and only give up 3 hits, they're going to take money the next time out, especially if they're near a plus 200 point underdog. So we're seeing that here with the Fish going up against Corbin. And Patrick Corbin, a big name guy. A lot of people know him, solid pitcher, for the last couple years, but he has given up 21 hits in his last 16 innings. That's kind of alarming, and only 6 Ks in his last 2 starts. So I think that's even more of a reason that the Marlins are taking money in this one. Plus the fact that the Nationals have kind of struggled against righties, number 24 lineup versus righties, pretty average bullpen. It's just the Marlins have kind of fallen off a little bit of late. That's what scares me about the Fish in tonight's matchup. Excuse me, against the defending champions here, defending World Series champions. So I do lean with the Fish. I just didn't get them personally because they're not playing their best baseball. I'd like to kind of catch teams, not catch that falling knife, in the investment speaking there. I'd rather get a team that's kind of won a couple games. And if you can still get them at a plus price like the Fish were, 2 weeks ago, great bet. Now, not so much. So lost on them last time. I'm not going to go back to the well, at least at this price point, plus 180-ish in the marketplace. But I do lean with the Miami Marlins. So we got next game up here. Philadelphia, Atlanta. This is a good one in the NL East. Good pitching matchup here, guys. We got Aaron Nola going for the Philadelphia Phillies. And Aaron Nola, let's see here, 37 Ks, 4 walks, so a 37-4 K to walk ratio year to date. Going up against Fried coming from the left side, 28 strikeouts, 4 earned runs, and 29 innings pitched this year with a 60% ground ball rate. So I lean towards the under here. Atlanta, the thing that worries me, they smash righties. Top 5 lineup against righties this year. In Philadelphia, top 5 lineup against lefties. So both the handedness of the pitcher, both lineups have done well in the past. That's kind of a thing where, you like both pitchers, but both lineups tend to kind of do well against the handedness of the pitcher. That's what's keeping me off the under. Plus the fact Philadelphia's bullpen is a dumpster fire. Be careful if you're betting Philadelphia full game. Keep that in mind because a big advantage here to the number 10 bullpen by my numbers in MLB with the Atlanta Braves. So I lean under, but these two lineups I think have the chance of having enough success to pump it up over the 8 posted total right now. So Will, welcome in. You're liking the under too. Yeah, I could definitely see it. Red Sox win again. You're liking the Red Sox here. They're playing Baltimore. It means, actually, this is a game I wasn't about to get involved in, but I have Means circled as watch him pitch tonight. I mean, his last performance, I don't even think he got through the first inning. He didn't look good. His velocity was down. So if he has another bad performance here, I would actually probably look to fade John Means his next time out. And I wouldn't talk you off of being on the Boston Red Sox here at the -110. That's the way I would lean in that one as well, Will. So I like where your head's at there. Guys, got one total I did bet, so go on record with that. Also, a side here, I bet personally last night. It's kind of a degenerate special type bet. It's just the numbers gotten a little bit away from us. So in terms of going on record for the show, I don't know if I can, at this price point, I don't like it as much, but for a degenerate special, if you're looking for a wager on the late night, got NL West action here, Arizona versus San Francisco. Robbie Ray versus Logan Webb here, 9.5 being the total. Looks like Arizona -115 to -120 right now. I think they're getting a little bit pricey. They were a pick'em price last night. And Robbie Ray is a guy I have circled his bet on. You know, his last time out, 0 hits. He threw a no-hitter. The only caveat is 6 walks in 5 innings. So kind of a big question mark there. What was really going on in that start? He's obviously struggles with control, but San Francisco they don't walk. You know, they don't take a lot of pitches. They're one of the lowest teams in terms of walk rate, just a 7% walk rate. So I don't think they're really going to be able to take advantage as much as they should against Robbie Ray. So that's the reason I kind of like the Diamondbacks here. Plus the fact Webb going for San Francisco, he's been up and down himself. He had 5 walks last time out. And the bullpens, slight advantage here towards the Diamondbacks. I have them as rated at 19 bullpen, whereas the San Francisco Giants, one of the worst bottom 5 bullpens in MLB. So if you're needing a late night game here, I'm just trying to I guess, limit the volume here because last time out, you know, was a rough day. So I try to kind of come back into the MLB betting markets a little bit slower. So if you're needing a degenerate special, I recommend the Arizona Diamondbacks, but they're not going to make the card in terms of, record keeping for the show. So I don't think it's going to make the card, but if you need a degenerate special, it's there for you. Jay, welcome in, man. Been losing some tough ones, Drew. I could use a couple winners. Well, Jay, I think I got one for you here tonight. I like this one a lot. A lot of points coming towards this total that I'll throw out here. And I do want to just break down one more game before I get to the total that I really like here. We got the Angels and the Oakland A's, Haney versus Friars. Friars 21 hits in his last 3 starts, a 6 ERA. And he's a guy that profiles well in Oakland Coliseum just because it's, you know, a big pitcher's park at night. There's a lot of room out there for fly balls to land. I just think LA is going to get to him pretty good. And Haney, you know, coming from the left side for the Angels, his last time out, he had 4 walks and gave up 5 hits in 5 innings. It was versus the Dodgers, so you got to kind of point that in there. But in his last 2 starts, he has given up 9 earned runs in 9 innings, so he hasn't looked that good. Bullpen, heavy advantage towards the Oakland A's, a top 5 bullpen. So I don't know. I just think it kind of sets up well for the Oakland A's to do well, especially with that bullpen. But I didn't get there either just because Friars a 6 ERA year to date. Plus, he hasn't looked good at all in his last 3 starts. Just something to kind of watch there if he does pitch good in Oakland Coliseum. So I don't know, guys. Any other questions here you want to throw out in the chat box? Happy to answer them and throw out this total here. Senor Pipes, welcome in, man. Angels A's. Yeah. I lean here towards Oakland just because I think they're one of the best teams in baseball. I guess their last 2 games they played well, but before that, I was on them for a couple games. They didn't look that good. And with Friars on the hill, I want to see him kind of pitch a good game before I jump on him here, even though the profile of ballpark sets up well for him to have success. Crinch 918, San Fran coming on, maybe take team totals. Yeah, 918. That's what's also keeping me off of this a little bit is the San Francisco Giants really haven't played as bad as kind of the preseason numbers kind of said that they would. So they might be a little bit under the radar here too. It's the 2 bottom teams in terms of the standings in the NL West, talking about the Diamondbacks and Giants tonight. Senor Pipe saying the Snakes have been hot, but how is Oakland a dog tonight? They're not much of a dog, but I mean, yeah, anytime the Oakland A's are a dog, I'm interested. But I guess Friars, his past performance hasn't been that good. So that would be a big reason why they are a dog tonight. Hey, Mike Campbell, welcome in, man. Happy Friday to you. Hope you have a fun, safe weekend. Do I only do baseball? Yeah. I mean, I bet other sports, like NBA's going on. I kind of like the Dallas Mavericks, but I'm definitely, a long time losing NBA better. But in terms of what sports I handicap, MLB, college basketball, and college football are the three that I personally spend the most time on and have had the most success in the past. And also bet NFL and UFC as well. So those would be the 5 sports, with the 3 major sports where I really try to beat the betting markets is MLB, college football, and college basketball. Good question there. Thanks, man. Tampa money line and -5 from Jay. Man, Tampa's a one-way team. It's tough to go against Tampa. Yarborough on the hill, -145 against Toronto. Yeah, they're down there in Tropicana. I like betting the Rays in Tropicana. -145 is a little pricey though, so it didn't make the card there, but I wouldn't talk you off of it. And Pittsburgh, I haven't been involved with Pittsburgh very much at all this season. Arrow, I appreciate you asking. I really haven't seen Cole pitch very much. Them at the plus price against the Brewers, 8.5 being the total. No strong opinion here. It would probably be Milwaukee or pass, but not involved with that. So, Will, I don't have any UFC as of yet. Going to watch the past fights here tonight and then look to bet in them. I'll tweet them out, though, Will. So thanks for that question, man. And, guys, I'll get into the play that I really like on tonight's card here. It's the Battle for Chicago in the Windy City series, I believe it's called. The Chicago White Sox at the Chicago Cubs in Wrigley Field. Dallas Keuchel versus John Lester, both coming from the left side. Interesting point there, 2 lefties going at it. Dallas Keuchel, his last time out, guys, 2 walks and only 1 strikeout, and he was only touching 87 miles per hour versus the Cardinals. I'd watch out there. I mean, I know he's kind of made his back half of his MLB career here by not throwing very fast, but he hasn't been this low, 87 miles per hour. I mean, back in my prime, I was almost hitting that. So I don't know, him having success going forward at the major league level, I would kind of be wary of. His O swing percentage, which means the amount of times the opposition is swinging at his pitches outside the strike zone, is 32%. That's really high. That's how he's had success. He gets a lot of people to chase. I don't think that sets up well with the Chicago Cubs. Here's a big reason I like this game, because the Cubs are number 2 in walk rate. They make their opposing pitchers work very hard, throw a lot of pitches here, and they don't swing at a lot of pitches outside the zone. So I think the Cubs are going to have a bunch of runners on base. The wind is blowing slightly out to left field, which with 2 lefties on the hill, setting up platoon-wise for righties, that works out well. Wind always important in Wrigley, even though it's not very hard tonight, but it is something to note. John Lester, 14-4 K to walk ratio this year, but last time was his worst outing of the season. He gave up 9 hits in 6 innings pitched. Plus the fact here, guys, the Chicago White Sox are the number 1 hitting lineup in MLB versus lefties. That top of the order, they really smash lefties. So I would look for the Chicago White Sox to get after John Lester. I don't think he's going to have a big performance at all. And the Chicago White Sox, 790 OPS, almost an 800 team OPS the last 2 years versus John Lester. And the Cubs team OPS versus Keuchel since 2012 isn't good, but go back, because that was a different Dallas Keuchel in the early part of his career. His last 2 years, and especially last year, over a 1,000 team OPS. So they've smashed him here. They've seen him well. I think they're going to see him pretty well tonight. I think both lineups get after the opposing pitcher here, guys. And this total sitting at 9.5. It has bumped up from 9 to 9.5. I just bet it about an hour ago at Circa here in Las Vegas. Over 9.5 -105. That's what I bet it at Circa. So a lot of points here, guys, pointing towards this over. I think there's a lot of runs in Wrigley tonight. bullpen, the Cubs, still the number 22 ranked bullpen. White Sox a lot better, about number 9 in MLB. So I think the later innings does favor the White Sox. But overall, the starting pitchers, I think they are going to get smashed tonight. I really like this over 9.5 over -105 for a bunch of reasons on both sides, guys. So for the play of the night, it's really the only play I'm invested in a lot. I did bet the Diamondbacks -105. That number is kind of long past us. So I feel weird going on record now at -120. So I'll probably leave that one off, or I will leave that one off. And for the record tonight, one game, Friday night action, Chicago White Sox, Chicago Cubs, over 9.5, -105 at Circa. So, guys, that's it. If you got it 9, Little Port, I'd bet it over 9. Absolutely. Yeah, you get a push at the 9. That's the better way to go there. Senor Pipes, do I broadcast from Westgate? No, but maybe in the future I will. Might go there tonight, though. So if you're around, hit me up on Twitter. And, yeah, love to see some of you guys out in action in Las Vegas. If you're visiting, whatever, it's all good, guys. So tonight, the play of the night, Chicago White Sox, Chicago Cubs, over 9.5, -105. Appreciate all of you guys joining in. We'll do another show here for the Saturday card, and best of luck with your bets. Have a fun, safe weekend, guys. Let's cash this ticket. So